and that's that. Because sometimes lashes, sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it could take 20 minutes, sometimes it could take 5. And I don't have time to figure out what kind of day it want to be, so.
Now this one dedicated to the girl with the angel face and the devil heart. You know, so ragamuffin checker, the most new part players come to deal with the case. Step up my youth, hear this.
I know this little girl, her name is Maxine. Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. If I ever tell you about Maxine, you older say I don't know what I know. But...
Hi guys, Dalanab here, and today I am coming at you guys with my updated foundation routine. In my last video, I told you guys that I filmed this, but I did not like the footage, and I'm also using some new products in this video. This is not going to be a long video. I just wanted to come on here really quick, show you guys my everyday updated foundation routine. I am, like I said, using some new products. I am using the Huda, however you say that, Huda Beauty Faux filter foundation. I know this has been out for a while. I've had it for a while, but I didn't really know how I felt about it, but now I actually like the product. So I guess I can give you guys like a little review on what I think about the product. I'm pretty sure you guys have already seen reviews on it, but if you are interested in my updated foundation routine, keep on watching. Okay, so I've already primed my face. I use the Huda Beauty Complexion Perfection Pre-Makeup Base, and this is, you know, the product that they recommend you use with the foundation. So I just use that to prime my face with, and we are going to go ahead and color correct. And today I am going to use an oldie but a goodie, and I'm going to use my MAC Pod and the Burnt Coral to color correct. And this is my everyday routine. I go to work every day, so when I do wear makeup, I do this every day. So I want to keep it very, very short because I don't have a lot of time in the morning. I try and get a 20-minute makeup routine in, and that's it. We're not going to do any eyes today or anything. We're just going over the foundation. So I'm just going to use this pointed foundation brush from BH Cosmetics, or actually Real Techniques, and I'm just going to use this, and I am going to color correct under my eyes. And I'm using orange to cancel out the darkness. And I'm going to go under my eyes and on any dark spots that you would like to conceal. So for me, I have a few areas on my face that I would like to, you know, correct on top of. Usually for women, the color around your mouth would be your most problematic area, but just any area that you see that is an issue for you, you just color correct it. And it looks crazy, but we are going to blend all of that out once we add the foundation. Now I will say that the foundation, and you guys will see what I mean once I put it on, the foundation it's gonna look like it's lighter than what I need, but as you guys may have heard, and if you haven't, the foundation actually oxidizes, so it will end up being the shade that I need. So we're gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Faux filter, and mine is in the color Gingerbread 430N, and I'm just gonna take a couple of pumps, and I am going to take my beauty blender, and it is damp, and I am just going to lightly dab this all over my face. Now remember, see how light that is? It's gonna be lighter, or it's gonna look lighter, but it's actually gonna blend in. Now this is a full coverage foundation, so if you are someone who likes to see your skin through it, you may not like this product. I personally don't see an issue with it. I think the coverage is amazing. It's beautiful. It does give you a matte finish. A lot of people were saying that it has like this really floral accent. I don't think it's that bad. I actually appreciate the scent, but you know, to each his own. So as you can see, it does give a beautiful coverage, and like I said, it will oxidize, so don't worry about it being too light. I do find that you have to move quickly with this product because it does dry rather quickly. And there was a brush that came with it that they recommend you use, but I did not buy that brush because I wasn't about to pay for it. So my beauty blender does just fine. I know some other people were saying that they like the brush with the products. I'm one of those people who I can use a brush, I can use a beauty blender. It does not matter. I don't need, you know, to use the actual brush that it comes with. But we are just going to tap it in. And again, I just used a couple of pumps. Make sure you get your hairline. And if you are not going to be using an eyeshadow, or if you are using an eyeshadow, you can always go over your eyes with it. I do notice that you see how it was streaky right there, so I have to go over it a couple of times on the eye area, which is a pet peeve of mine, but you know, it is what it is. So I am just going to take the excess that is on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to fill in the areas where I want a little bit more coverage. And I'm not going to put so much under my eyes because when I go back in with my concealer, I don't want it to be heavy. Now, one thing I will say, I guess this is turning into like a little mini demo review. But anyways, I will say that most people, when they put on a full coverage foundation, they seem to think that it's too heavy. This is not one of those products. I have worn this product. This will be my 3rd time wearing it. And in the 3 times I've worn it, I've worn it to a Saints game. And that was an all-day event. And then I also wore it for Thanksgiving. And it was the weather was decent for that day. And I will say that it did not feel like I had on foundation. I did not notice that I had it on. It was just, it's weightless. For me, I feel like it's weightless. Someone else might not feel the same, but I personally feel like since it is so full coverage, it is not a cakey coverage. It is very weightless, and I like it. Okay, so that's done. So 2 pumps, and that's what you get. Okay, all right. Now I am going to go in and I am going to conceal. Now I use different concealers depending on, you know, whatever I can get my hands on. For this particular video, I am going to use my Oldie Bagoodie. We're going to use my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the color Golden. No, Caramel. So yeah, I have not been gravitating towards this much, and I'm not going to put that much. I'm just going to, because again, this is my everyday look. So I'm just going to put enough here so that I have some coverage here. But because that foundation is so full coverage, it pretty much gave me the coverage that I need. So I don't need that much. But yeah, I haven't been going to this as much as I usually would. I've actually been gravitating towards my Shape Tape. But sometimes that Shape Tape can be a little extreme. So I am just going to go in with NARS because I feel like this is a little bit more toned down and everyday appropriate. But if you want a bold look every day, then honey, whatever floats your boat, go ahead on with it. So now I'm just going to take that same beauty blender that I use, and I am going to blend all of this out. And again, since this isn't everyday, I want a more subtle look, so that's why I'm using the same blender that I used for my foundation. That way it'll blend in a little bit better and a little bit more subtle. But I don't really like a really out there highlight. I never have, unless I'm like going on, you know, a date or something, and even then I just want it to be very natural. So yeah, so I'm just going to blend this away. I actually feel like I want to try the lighter color before caramel, which is I think Biscuit, to see what that does. But Ulta had, no, not Ulta, Tarte had this sale the other day, and it was, what was it, 20% off, I think, 25%, I don't know. But the Shape Tapes came out to $20 instead of $27, so I bought 2 more of those. So it was a pretty good deal. It was, I think they had like every day was a different sale or something like that. So that was the sale for that particular day. And as you can see, See that? That is, yeah. We'll fix that though, because I'm gonna set everything anyways. But yeah, as you can see, that blended in very well. So you can absolutely use any concealer that you like with the Faux filter, if you were wondering. Any concealer works. My NARS concealer works. My even my LA Girl Pro concealer works, and my Shape Tape works. So just a little plug for you, girl. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna set my entire face. I do not bake anymore. I don't try to anyways. Like if I start to do something else and I got the stuff on my face, that's fine. So I do use my Laura Mercier setting powder or translucent powder. It's the same thing. And I am going to just set all of those areas that I just concealed. And I'm just going to use another damp beauty blender to do so. And I'm just going to press the products into my face. Again, we are not baking, honey. And then I'm just going to put it over my eyes too, just so that throughout the day that foundation and concealer won't crease. That's a lot. I didn't mean for it to be like that. So I'm actually going to really sweep that away. And you just want to put this in all the areas that you put that concealer, just so that it won't crease on you throughout the day. And this powder can get really messy, honey. So now I'm just going to go in with my e.l.f. powder brush. I just picked this up from probably Walmart or Target. And I'm just going to sweep away all of that powder. I'm not pressing it in. I'm literally sweeping it away. And it may look a little washed out, but we're going to go back in and bring some color and dimension back to our face. Now for this, you can either use bronzer or you can actually go in and contour, but for the sake of the video and an everyday look, I will not be contouring today. However, I will be using some bronzer and some blush to bring some color back to my face. So first I start off with my Milani Baked Bronzer, and this is in the color Soleil 05. And I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to bronze all the areas that I would usually contour. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques contour brush. And I did get these brushes in a set a while ago. So if you are looking for an affordable brush set and you don't want to pay all that money, Real Techniques. I keep wanting to say BH Cosmetics because they also have some good brushes as well, and they have sales every single day. But Real Techniques is some good brushes, and I purchased mine from Walmart maybe, but you can actually get them from Ulta, I think now. I think Ulta carries them now, so you can actually get them from Ulta. But I'm just going to bronze my face. And I'm actually looking for another bronzer. I want something a little bit more bronzy. So if you guys know of a good bronzer, put them in the comments down below, because I'm looking for one. But for what I'm going for and what I go for, this will do. So that is that. Now I'm going to go in with, this is an actual powder blush from MAC. And this is for MAC. I actually used to use this to contour when I was, you know, just starting out and trying to figure out how this whole makeup thing works. And I still like to use it. Sometimes it can be a little bit too light depending on the weather. But we are going to use this not only as a quote-unquote contour, but as some blush too. So I am just going to do this like this. You see? There's no contour, but it looks like you did because you know, you're in a rush, girl. So you got to make it work. So, and you got a 2-in-1, so you don't have to do, you know, the extra step, honey. And that That baked bronzer also has like a little bit of a highlight in it. So, yeah. And my natural skin has just been flourishing, honey. So I'm going to take that format and I'm actually going to use a smaller Real Techniques brush that I would usually use to contour my nose. If I can find it, because I did wash some of my brushes and I don't have all of them here with me. So, you know what? I am just going to, if you don't, here's a little trick. If you don't have a contour brush on hand, you could take your, first a small contour for your nose, you could just take your brush and kind of just, you know, pinch it a little bit and just go down. I'm not going to add much product to the brush just because this is an everyday look and I don't go to work super snatched. I just go, you know, so they can know, hey, I'm here. I put a little effort into my face today and this is what I look like. Okay, so now to set just the bottom, because I noticed that sometimes when I use this, it makes my entire face look more orange than necessary. I actually think I need to go and get another color in this, but sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I used to use this stuff all the time. But this is my dark mineralized skin finish from MAC, and this is in the color dark. And I'm just going to use another e.l.f. brush, and this is the Ultimate Blending Brush. And I'm just going to use this on the bottom of my face. I'm not going to go up too much. And this is just going to blend everything out. I'm also going to use it at the top too. But like I said, I'm not going to use too much just because this sometimes make me more orange than I want to be. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to go in with another blush just because this one is a little bit more subtle than I want it to be. I want it to be very bronzy. Usually when I go to work, I'm very bronzy. If I don't do anything to my eyes, I make sure that my face is very bronzy. And again, this is all under 20 minutes. So I'm going to go in with my NARS. You guys know I love this stuff. If you've been following my channel for a while, this is my Taj Mahal blush. Love this stuff. This was like one of the first blushes, that high-end blushes that I purchased. And I'm going in again with a buffing brush by Real Techniques. And I'm just going to put this on the apple of my cheeks. And for the most part, every brush that I use for this video is affordable. Because they're all Real Techniques or Beauty Blender. This is what I use on a daily basis. I use my beauty blenders. I don't really use a lot of brushes, and I use these same brushes every single day, or the days that I wear makeup to go to work. Excuse me. So now that the face is pretty much done, we are going to put a little bit of highlight. Usually when I go to work, I use my NARS. This is also another holy grail. This is my Frenzy. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this. And a trick that I learned, which I don't know how I did not know about this, is to go ahead and spray your face with whatever finishing spray, or actually I'm running out, whatever finishing spray or whatever setting spray you want. And I use Fix Plus, and then I also go in with my Mario Badescu as well. And then I take my highlighter brush, and this is from Morphe. Actually, this is actually Sigma. This is my tapered highlighting brush, and I just take it while my face is still damp, and I try and go subtle on the highlight, but that sometimes doesn't always work. So, and I just highlight just a little bit. Again, just enough to be uber pretty at work, you know? And I've always loved this highlighter. And then I just put a little bit on my nose. And that's that. So now I wait for my entire face to dry. as I'm doing that, I usually go in with like a subtle lip color. For all intents and purposes of this video, I'm just going to use a lip gloss. So I'm just going to use a lip gloss, and I usually just line my lips with like a brown or a neutral color. This is actually the lip color that I usually use, and this is my Jordana. This is actually a eyeliner, but I use it as a lip liner. And I just go and I line my lips. Put a gloss over it. Nothing fancy smashy or anything like that, because I'm going to work, girl. Now, if I want to be super extra and I got a little bit of time, I might do a bold lip, but for the most part, this is what we go with. Simple, easy peasy. And then the very last thing that I do is I go in with my mascara, and it is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I do not put on falsies for excuse me, work time. I barely actually have been wearing falsies. I use my own, I just, you know, make my own lashes pop because I have naturally long eyelashes anyways. So I just use mascara, and that's that, because sometimes lashes, sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it could take 20 minutes, sometimes it could take 5. And I don't have time to figure out what kind of day I want to be, so I just use my own. So I just put like a couple of coats, and, you know, to my liking. If I want to be dramatic, then I'll add a few more coats. But for the most part, a couple of coats will do it for me. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a quick everyday foundation updated routine using some new products. As I told you guys, I do like the Faux filter. Huda Beauty, so if you have not gotten your hands on it, I know for a very long time it was sold out on Sephora's website, but they did restock, so you can check there for it. And I also believe that Huda Beauty sells it on her site. So if you guys have not gotten your hands on it, I would recommend it if you can get your hands on it. The colors do oxidize, so just keep that in mind. You know, it was very light when I first started, and now it's starting to oxidize to my actual skin tone. So just keep that in mind when you are looking for this product. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and be on the lookout for, I'm going to do a Juvia's Place eyeshadow look using her new palette, or using their new palette. The palette is the, I forget the name of it, but I will have it scrolling somewhere here. But yeah, that is on the way. If you guys have not checked out some of my other videos, please go ahead and check those out as well. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I am looking for a bronzer. Let me know what bronzers you guys like. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.